This is JBM here from Mr. Creepshow09. I got the TheMYERSFAN25. This is not his... Halloween's not his specialty, but we'll see how boring he is in this review. We're going to be talking about the original. We're going to be talking about the remake and the original. Well, the original, basically this is a remake of the opening scene of the original, of Jill and the babysitter getting stalked by this stranger. They remade the opening scene and stretched it out into one long hour and 30-minute PG-13 no gore movie. They tried to, the original aim was for it to be a old school Hitchcock suspense, you know.
I think they failed.
Yeah, but what I do like is that they don't, the soundtrack is gorgeous. They don't,
I mean, it was nothing but filler.
They don't start playing rock music out of nowhere. The whole movie is filler, of course, because what it's based on is filler. So this is for fans of the movie. Basically, if you've seen both of them, it's still better than the original, though, in my opinion.
You think so?
Yeah, obviously, because the original is not even really that much of a horror. It just goes into this crime suspense drama for most of the movie, and it's boring, and you follow the fat stranger 7 years later. This one, you get to look at Camilla, Belle, 05, 06, smoking hot for an hour and 30 minutes straight.
But I mean, what's with the beginning scene? She's running and running and running, and she's all out of breath, like, and the coach is like, Jill, I know you can make 24 seconds if you try. She made 25. What's the difference with one more second? I mean, come on. It's like saying, oh, you made 60. I wanted you to do 59. Who cares?
She doesn't
really
settle.
They turn the smallest things into the biggest things with this movie.
They had to. There's a lot of curveballs and a lot of things.
And then another thing, they tried their best to let you know that it was 06. The dad's talking to the daughter. He's like, Jill, I want you to know that you ran over your minute.
Yeah, they're retelling the story, bringing it to a modern audience. That's also what I like about it, is it feels hardcore mid-2000s. And they didn't go with the traditional house, the traditional old school house, you know, where double story, Amityville style house. They went with a modern house. I kind of like that for this, how they did that, because it makes it feel
right. You know, nothing,
more
you know,
2000s.
Nothing to go crazy over. The whole thing was just filler, and you could tell that Scream 4 took most of that stuff.
Of course they did.
Like the beginning part with Jill walking through the hallway and her jabroni boyfriend coming up behind her. Jill, you're just going to ignore me, or you're going to ignore me, Jill? Obviously she's ignoring you because she's not acknowledging you. Isn't that what you call ignore? I do.
Yeah, they took those characters and they made them real life. So if you're a fan of the original, it's nice to see 25 years later how they brought those characters to life. The Bobby character and the Tiffany character.
Yeah, that's all good. I respect all that.
But
this movie, it's really overrated to me.
No, I think it's underrated to me because no one likes it. People would have to like it for it. People would have to like it for it to be overrated. Everyone pretty much hates it.
I guess you got a point there.
So much of this movie is just Jill. It's just a tough job.
Killer, you know?
What did you think of Camilla Belle's performance?
She reminded me a lot of Jamie Lee Curtis, 1978 Halloween.
You would say that, Darnell.
I don't know why, she just did. And basically they had the one black chick in there in the movie, and that was basically so that you couldn't say that they were racially biased or anything like that.
And of course they gave her a minor role of
yeah.
Just being the...
That was all about.
She was just the third wheel between her and Tiffany. What'd you think about
Basically,
Tiffany?
they had to find stuff to do to fill the 90-minute quota that they were trying to fill. You know, like they said, here's an idea. Why don't you make Jill come over here and make kissing noises at the cat? You know, that'll do it.
I know, there's so many, there's more jump scares than you'll ever see in any one movie.
And how about this? Let's let the audience decide on whether it's the stranger calling or just one of Jill's friends. You know? That's like, oh, no, wait, that wasn't the stranger.
They had to do that. I like that too, because it's suspenseful. It's all about suspense. That's what the original Halloween is based on, suspense. There's no gore, there's little use of blood in that movie, just like this movie.
The only thing suspenseful about when a stranger calls is me thinking, I wonder if she would ever actually go out with me in real life.
Wow, no, I have to argue with that. No, the concept alone is just scary. Isolated house that you don't know, babysitting, you know, being harassed by a hold up, let me finish. Being harassed by a stranger at night in a house that you're not familiar with. The house was so unique. You try and be home alone out in the middle of nowhere. They're out in Colorado or whatever, and then she goes out into the country.
With all due respect, we've already been over this.
I'm just speaking for the teenage girls here. They can all relate. They can all relate to that.
Yeah, but we could if I was stupid enough to be in that situation.
There's a lot of money in this franchise, and they were supposed to do a sequel that they didn't pony up for with Hayden Panettiere, but that never came to fruition. Probably because it was just going to be straight to DVD. But they still made a pretty penny off of it. It only cost $22 million. Most of it went to building the house from scratch. What?
Jill wasn't going to be in the sequel?
I don't know. It's just like she didn't look white anymore after she entered her 20s or whatever. They both shot this movie. Katie Cassidy and Camilla Belle were 18. They shot it in August, the fall of 05. They could have done it with their... You want to know what? Because Carol Kane, who shot in the original, was 27 when they filmed it in 1979. Camilla Belle is only 25 right now as we stand here in 2011. Go on.
The girl in the original was ugly. I don't know why they always let the stalker stalk somebody ugly.
I hate it when they make the main girl...
They let the stalker be ugly. What were you saying?
Yeah, I know. I hate it when they make the main girl be ugly in horror movies because there's so much filler.
Yeah, you know?
That's why they put hot girls in horror movies because there's so much filler usually. So they give us some eye candy to look at.
1979, but I gotta look at her face and I hung the phone back up.
That movie's... It's like a crime suspense drama, like In the Heat of the Night or something.
It reminds me of Law and Order.
I know. Even worse. So does The Dark Knight, but that's a whole nother story. So
I mean, it's like I said, it's nothing but they basically had to find something to do for 90 minutes, or I should say 80 minutes, and then the last 10 minutes were going to be Jill running, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's talk about the villain. Let's talk about the villain first. Go ahead and diss him.
The villain?
Yeah, go ahead and diss him.
Oh, the villain. Oh, man. Don't
The stranger.
on the villain and the stranger. When a stranger calls, I mean, like I told you, the guy is a poser. He's not a real killer. He kills people off screen. What kind of killer is that?
He's psycho. He loves to terrorize his victims. Yeah, that was just for the... Yeah, that was just...
kill you on screen. I'm going to turn the camera off. It's better that way.
Thanks to Screen Gems. Oh yeah, here's a comparison. You know, Scream Gems made... I love the way they do the style of movies. But in that movie, The Roommate, that came out this year, they started playing rock music. That soundtrack is horrible. This one, they keep it old school.
You know, that's just a ripoff of Single White Female. That's what that is. And by the way, speaking of white females, people are getting uncomfortable now JBM. Can you just imagine what they're thinking? Oh no, he's gonna go racial. Shut up.
Speaking about white female, Camilla Belle's like half Brazilian playing a white girl role.
Exactly. She's Brazilian and she's playing a white girl.
When I first saw it, I thought she was white, but then over time, when she was in 10,000 BC, you're like, wow, she's like half Hispanic or something.
She actually got away with that. Hey, maybe I can play a white guy.
But anyway, the stranger, he gets off on watching his young victims, making them scared. He's a classic villain.
Why this is so boring?
Because they put it in a PG atmosphere. But I love it how they keep it dark, though.
I thought I only had to deal with that on Monday nights. That's not fair. I'm disappointed.
I'm glad that I would rather have them keep the focus on Jill, though, than to keep the focus on, like, the cops, like the manhunt. Because you know how the opening scene, they show it like, hey, he's done this before. He killed this other bitch, you know?
Yeah.
They didn't do a manhunt. Thank God.
And what about this, though, JBM? He did it with his bare hands. Are you serious?
Yeah.
He did it with his bare hands.
Like, wow. Oh, and yeah, they bring her out in body bags, but then when they show Tiffany's dead body, played by Cassidy later, she's just like no blood at all. In the bathroom. He just like raped her to death or something, and she was just croaked. She just ended up croaked in the bathroom or whatever, and you're like, okay.
I think, you know what I think happened? I think he strangled her, and then I think there might have been a little blood. He might have used his fingernails.
Oh, he raped her for sure. Who? Yeah, you're telling me the stranger didn't rape Cassidy 05 smoking hot?
I think he did, but I think he might have also tried to strangle her or something. But then he realized this was a PG-13 movie, so he wiped the blood off, you know?
And then he went to the producers and said, hey, cut that scene out.
Exactly, you know he can't do anything on screen.
But anyway, his phone calls, let's talk about those. They used a different actor. The guy from...
the phone calls.
The director from,
phone calls, actually...
From Scream 3.
I know everybody's going to say that When a Stranger Calls came before Scream, and that's true. But I felt like this guy was trying to be the guy that played Ghostface.
Not even close, because Ghostface has a different personality. Ghostface is more clever. This guy didn't use clever dialogue or anything.
Right about that, because this guy had no brains at all. He was bested by two children. You know, two children outwitted him.
He was toying with her the whole night, though. He's not a total dummy.
The thing is, he got done in by a fire poker.
He got done in by the remote control flamer.
Exactly.
Oh, they brought technology in. Here's another thing where you said they bring in, hey, it's 2006. They bring in the technology of her pressing the button for the fire.
Yeah, I know. Press the button and out comes the fire.
The way they shot the ending, that's one of my total beefs. The whole ending where with their confrontation, going up the stairs, and then it's like a stunt bitch, and they wrestle around, and because she's the athletic girl, she stands up to him, and then he, and then. I
meant to bring that up, by the way.
So they press the button, so they press the button and the flame goes off and it's like shot terribly and he just like reacts to it like, and then she stabs the fork in him. And that's the only bit of gore in the whole entire movie is when she stabs the pitchfork into his hand.
They had her running for a reason. We should have known that when we saw it back in 06. They had her running in the beginning for a reason. Because they were trying to let you know she was going to need to use her track.
Yeah, script convenience. They established her as the athletic girl.
Exactly. You had her running for a reason. We should have picked up on that.
Oh, everyone picked up on that. As soon as you saw her running in the beginning.
You know, what? I would like to comment. I would like to comment on that. By the way, if that's the case, if we're going to do that, and we're going to have our villain, or not our villain, but our hero or our heroine doing things at the beginning of movies to let you know their place in the movie, they should have had Laurie Strode playing with a wire hanger in the beginning of Halloween 1978. She should have just been randomly playing with it, you know?
That's
like, hey, Laurie, what are you doing? Oh, you know, I'm bending a wire hanger. Why? Well, it's fun.
Camilla's Belle's performance was great compared to Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween. Because she had to do, because Camilla Belle had to do most of this movie. It was just her, the camera right on her.
Yeah.
It was a good performance.
I give it to her.
Exactly.
Here's the thing, though. I get the strange feeling that, and this may be completely unnecessary, but I get the strange feeling that she's more Brazilian than she is American. I think she simply Americanized herself for the sake of the movie. I just get this strange feeling that if you were to talk to her, she'd have like this Hispanic accent. I don't know why I think that. I just do.
She doesn't really.
And it probably wouldn't even sound like her.
No, she doesn't really. She
doesn't? Oh, okay. Because the same thing happened with Amityville 05.
She grew up in LA, America.
We all thought the girl was American, but she was British. I'm like, who is that?
Who?
Why is that American girl talking with a British accent?
Who, Mrs. Lutz?
Yeah.
She was Australian, which is even worse.
Same thing.
No, Aussies are worse. Just kidding.
And I would like to thank you for having me on here. I really appreciate that. But the only thing about this whole thing is that there's really not much to say because it's mostly filler. I mean, he's basically calling her and trying to scare her. It's not really a lot to go on, you know?
Yeah, but they made a clever script, and they kept you going in suspense. And the more you watch it, and the more you pick up things with the alarm and the cat and the jump scares and everything, how it intertwines.
Yeah.
It's sweet to see it in a full-length feature.
Actually, if the cat would have scared me like that, I would have just kicked them. Seriously.
If they would have made it more gore, everyone would love this movie. But there isn't gore, you know?
I think there wasn't a sequel because of the decline in the ratings. So here's an idea. See, Hollywood is stupid. If you want to make a sequel and you're worried about ratings, just put the R back in it. You know?
This came out at the perfect, This came out at the perfect time, right in the middle of the horror remake boom. So of course they were gonna remake this.
And did you know that Halloween was actually canceled that year?
06?
Part 9 was canceled in 06, yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but that's a whole nother story. So anyway,
yes,
we're going on 19 minutes now. This was JBM and the Myers fan.
And thank you again, JBM, for actually bringing some class to your show. Hopefully it'll be watchable.
You got any disses you want to say? Off the top of your head?
Well, actually, first of all, I don't know how you were able to even watch it on DVD. You don't even own a television set. Everybody knows that.
That's a low blow. Life's not worth living if you don't have a TV.
You don't own a television set and you're poor, so. Oh, man. Shout-outs, though. Eric Vierthaler, if you're out there, Eric, then stay out there.
He's out there being white as hell.
I'm just kidding, Eric. I'm just kidding. I don't want to have your girlfriend, Danny, come and make another video about me.
Oh, Danny Huckins, he's a legend.
Really?
Not
I
really.
never knew that. You know, I was never dissed by a white girl before. It's different. Danielle Huckins.
Alright,
All right.
I'm gonna end this now. This was JBM.
All right, I approve this message.
Shout out to everyone that watches. Leave your comments on When a Stranger Calls. Watch the movie. Peace out.